Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Replayer Podcast. My name is Pagan. I'm your host this week, and joining me, as always, is my wonderful co-host Dan.
Why, hello. What's up, Pagan?
Why, hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Pagan. So happy.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I'm elated. I am ecstatic. How many adjectives can we get in this first sentence? And joining us this week are our Replayer guests, Michael and Shana. Hi.
Hi.
What is going to happen?
What is...
Oh, very on brand. Very on brand,
happen?
Michael.
I know.
Thank you.
Wait, is this the
Very on brand
Replayer
Shana as
podcast?
well. Hold up. Shana and Michael are representing today, and me and Dan are like, fuck. Like, we don't have anything retro replay related.
I mean, we came in basically to tell you that Shana and I are taking over.
Knew it.
Yep.
Just so you guys know, you're out.
Change in management.
We're in.
Yeah.
We're in.
So clearly there's been a rain. Well, this was fun, folks. It's been a great run. See you later.
It's been great.
Bye.
Take care.
And it was bound to happen.
It was bound to happen. It's a pleasure to have you both on the show. Thank you so much for repping some retro replay on your bodies and using your body for marketing purposes. That's great. Thank you. Michael, shout out to you for creating our little animated intro for the podcast. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome.
That little
That was a lot of
ditty
fun.
that you
Yes.
saw before.
Little ditty.
Well, the video portion.
There we go.
That was
I
Michael's
had a lot
doing.
of fun with that, and I don't know why it has a rain filter on it, but it works.
It's listen, it's
It's a
raining
neon
outside
sign
all the time.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
all
come on and join that club that,
Yeah,
everybody wants to be a part of.
just pretend it's raining and you're in Ireland.
Well, it rains all the time there, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because that's the
It
proper
wasn't raining
way.
today. It was a nice day today, except a little chilly. But anyway, we'll get into that later.
Pagan heard the song Blue Skies, and she was just like, I don't understand this at all.
What's a blue sky?
The what?
Wait, skies can be blue?
What planet
So
do you
many
live on?
movies. What planet does everybody else live on? Fucking hell, it's just gray skies. here.
Listen, the sky is gray. Anything else
Yeah,
is wrong.
Yeah, essentially.
Looking out the window now, looks pretty blue.
I'm not gonna lie. I went to California for 3 days once. My mom was an air hostess, so I flew out with her on a trip out. Stayed for a day and a half, basically, and flew back. So it took a period of 3 days to get there and back. And I don't know how anybody in LA does it. I honestly don't know how Drew isn't just soup. Like, I don't know how anybody is surviving out there
Legitimately
walking
just
around.
melted down.
Yeah, literally. I actually don't know. And then what boggles my mind is like Australia is hotter than California. And that blows my mind. I'm
Well, there
hoping
was a
Grace
world
is just continually in an ice bucket somewhere because
There was a world record temperature in Death Valley, California, which is one of the hottest points on Earth.
oh Jesus. So hell.
Yeah,
What you're saying hell is California. California is hell.
even hell is just kind of like, guys,
What did you guys do here?
this is a little
It's
much.
hot.
It's a little much.
Yeah, so
Dial it
that was
back,
an interesting
Death Valley.
experience. But they had blue skies, and that was very interesting because that felt strange. But well, look, actually, while we're gonna start off talking about locations, let's actually talk about your locations. Shana,
Perfect.
where are you at? Where are you from?
I am in Largo, Florida.
Florida.
Soon, hopefully, we'll be moving because our house is up for sale. So,
Oh,
but yeah, right now I'm living in Largo with my mom and my stepdad.
Did you grow up there?
No, I've lived in Florida. We moved here from Ohio when I was a year old.
oh,
So,
that's a change.
well, and the reason we did it is because of the weather. We had the year I was born was
Fuck this
1970,
snow.
and yeah, and in that year we had a really bad snowstorm, and my mom's like,
It's
this-
real?
"Yeah, this is it. We're not living here anymore." Ice formed in the toilets
No.
so bad.
What?
What?
Formed in the toilets. When I was born, I weighed 3 pounds.
So you didn't have any heat or insulation, is what you're saying.
Make sure you put the seat down. I
Yeah.
can't.
It's ice.
It was a farmhouse my family lived in. It was a family's farm.
Oh, okay.
When I was born, I weighed 3 pounds. I And I was diagnosed with
Teeny baby.
spastic quadriplegic CP or cerebral palsy. And I was supposed to be born on Christmas Day, and I ended up being born a week before Halloween. And I was
You were well premature.
Yeah. My head could fit in the palm of my dad's hand. That's how tiny I was. I was in an incubator till about I was in the hospital till Thanksgiving Day, and my family got to bring me home. But I was in and out of the hospital till I was about 5 because I had all kinds of earaches and all kinds of other trouble. And my mom's like, we gotta move to Florida because of warmer climate, and she'll get better schooling because they diagnosed me being mentally retarded, not able to speak, not able to eat, be able to do nothing on my own.
These are clearly not true, though.
Yeah, look at you now.
Clearly
You're kicking
not.
ass.
Well,
they misdiagnosed big time.
Yeah, and what the doctor said to my parents was, now this is 1976, okay? Put her in an institution, try and forget about her and have another baby because she's not going to be able to do anything.
The 70s was rough, man. Fuck.
Screw that, doctor.
Yeah, well, and then my mother said, hell no, we're taking my baby home and raising her.
Damn right.
And they said, well, don't get too attached to her because she'll be dead by the 8:30.
Jesus.
That's how much they knew about CP.
Okay.
If they didn't know anything, they gave you the worst case scenario. So in case anything happened and I died, well, we told you she wouldn't live past.
They were covered.
Sounds like the doctor just covering their own asses.
Yeah. Fuck.
And institutions were started during World War II. They didn't close till 1981 when I was 5 years old here in the United States and in Europe.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't know any of that. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you are clearly a kick-ass survivor of all of this.
I mean, honestly, that now I know what you're saying.
Michael.
Like it was uneducation. You know what I mean? Like those doctors were uneducated. They were just giving worst case scenarios and like clearly full of shit because they didn't fucking know anything. And
this was back at the time when they were on like commercials for smoking.
I was going to say this is back in the day when the
Smoking's
doctors were like, "Smoking's good for you."
4 out of 5 doctors recommend a good healthy cigarette.
Like I said, their philosophy back then was to give you the worst case scenario. So in case anything happened, you couldn't sue anybody or do anything because they warned you. There's a wonderful documentary called Crip Camp that talks about the starting of the ADA law, the Americans with Disabilities Act law, how it all started in the 70s. And it wasn't until I was in high school in 93 that it got approved. So you're talking 25 years of hard work for all these disabled people to get rights just to live a life.
Right. Wow.
It's an amazing documentary. I recommend everybody see it because it will open your eyes to what life was like for at least my generation. My generation was the first generation to go to public school.
Wow.
So if you can imagine what that was like, being the only disabled kid in the kindergarten class or the only disabled kid in the 3rd grade. Bullying goes to a whole other level when you're the only kid that is different, physically different from everybody else.
Mm-hmm. But you know what, like Shana, honestly, I think, like, look who you are today. You know what I mean? Like, you're a writer, you're a poet.
You dress up as kick-ass pirates.
You're a fucking
You're a
kick-ass pirate. Reading stories to kids. I mean, come on. I mean, you have really surpassed every expectation that any doctor probably has ever met you had.
Right. And what my mother has often said, and I said, did you have any expectations for me when I was born? She said, we just wanted you to live. Everything else is icing on the cake. We wanted you to live and
That's
to
beautiful.
be able to speak and to be able to communicate with people. Anything else you did beyond what the doctors expected is just icing on the cake for us. So there was no expectation of me having kids. There was no expectation about me going to college. There was no, just do what you want. We'll be here for you if you need us. That's always been their philosophy. And there are times when I see my mom getting teary-eyed because she'll, you got to do this. Wow, you're playing mermaid. Wow, look at the kids' faces when they see you. It makes me happy that I'm, as much as I'm home, I'm trying to do as much as I can in the community as possible to make a difference. So,
and I think you really are. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of community, I just wanted to shout out that Shana, as long as I've known, you've done the countdown in the live chat.
Yes, the countdown on the live chats. That's where we know you.
That is an
most.
institution.
That's where I started to know
chat.
you.
Like that's been there since I started going to the live chat.
That was an icebreaker for me because I'm not a gamer. The last video game console game I played was in 1989.
Wow.
You're talking.
Hang on, Shana.
We're gonna get there.
Looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
We actually have a question about
specifically these questions, so we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ahead of the curve.
She's ahead of the curve.
Sorry.
But no, it's honestly so great that you're here and that you're talking to us on the Replayer podcast. It's so nice to have you here because you're such an advocate for just community spirit in general, and you are trying to be an advocate and awareness advocate for CP as well. So that's awesome. So thank you.
The countdown thing was my icebreaker to get people to talk to me a little bit. I got the idea from watching Spaceballs because that was one of my favorite movies. And there's a funny countdown sequence towards the end of the film. So I started doing that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it got people's attention. And the most funniest thing is everybody loves the bathroom reminder.
Everybody loves a bath. I always take it.
Oh my God.
Thing,
it's so great. And when I'm not there, people start to worry. I think
so many peed pants when you're not
there. It's unbelievable.
I think I've
diaper sales went up.
I think I've missed chat.
No one remembers to go to the bathroom when Nolan is just filling us full of wonderment.
Yeah. No one remembers.
So many painful bladders.
But it's such a funny thing that's become sort of a tradition and something that people look for and they're like, oh, thank you for this. I really appreciate it. It makes me laugh to know.
You're like the stage manager of the chat.
Definitely. Yeah. That's exactly what she is. Yes, Michael. Totally. Like counting down right to the last five minutes.
I would love to do that for a live retro replay. If they ever came close to my way, I would love to do that at a Comic-Con.
Do the official countdown with the sign.
Over the mic.
Tea break.
Yeah. That'd be awesome, Shana. Jesus, that'd be so cool. I love it. All of it.
Write that down, intern.
I'm writing it. Drew listens. Hey, listen, Drew listens. So,
he's
Drew, if you're heading to Florida,
that's good.
That's great. I'm gonna write that down. Michael, where are you based?
Still in New Jersey. Still in the East Coast.
How's that going for you?
Eastern Standard Time. It is fine. If I looked flushed or a little lost, it's because the last time I spoke with you guys was when? I don't remember.
I will tell you. It was.
Was my son born?
Yes, your son was born.
Okay. Well, he's 10 months now, so he's moving along. He's trying to make words, and he's knocking over and touching everything.
I was close.
You were so close. It was 29th of February. Sorry, Michael.
Still, he's just exponentially gotten
Bigger.
more involved in just like everything.
More
I have
drunken
a
midget?
secondary controller when I play
Drunken
games
monkey?
just to hand to him.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and he's just everything. He's picked stuff up with his toes. I don't know how, but he's done it.
Make money
But
off
that's
that. God damn it,
yeah.
capitalize on that. It's a talent.
It's been my life. And between that and now delving into the world of Twitch streaming has been my thing lately, and it's
From
I
when
can
we
see
last
why you
caught
guys
up with
like
you.
it so much.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm.
It's a good shout.
Yeah, me and Peggy can both.
Oh, why?
attest to
Thank
that.
you,
You're welcome.
person who just subscribed.
Yes, you're welcome.
Wink.
I love busting your chops, Megan. It's so much fun.
Oh, that's okay.
Followed.
You can bust my chops. I don't mind it. Yeah, for following.
Follow, yes.
So you're on East Coast. What was the other question I was going to ask you?
Yes, please go right ahead.
Oh, how did you find Retro Replay? Michael, you've already answered this question, I think, before, but just catch us up on how you found Retro Replay.
When we last left him at this answer, I just was watching videos online, happened to catch Nolan and Troy doing the Christmas night before Christmas read through, and started binge watching everything.
Nice.
As we all do.
Was catching up with you guys in the chats and getting to know everybody there, and then binged watched everything again while I was in the hospital with my wife as she was about to give birth for those couple of days.
Yeah,
that kept me sane, and I've been a fan since. I've been able to witness amazing moments such as you and Dan all of a sudden surprising the hell out of us by showing up on a multiplayer stream.
What are you talking about?
That was cool.
Brandy lying to us in that Zoom chat before saying, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's got voice classes," and we're all like, "Ah,
stuff.
darn, that's."
We recorded
and
that
there he
Zoom
shows
chat
up, and we're
too.
like, "Oh my god!"
She was telling me too, like everyone was suspicious. They're like, "Where's Dan?"
Yeah,
Where
like
is
I had
he?
a feeling like Pega was just like, sorry guys, I can't stream tonight. You know, something came up and
busy.
Dan's doing classes. I'm just like, darn, I miss hanging out. What the? That's you. That was very, very cool to see. Very cool to see.
I was very
proud
cool.
of Pagan becoming an intern there and having her little face show up on the little retro TV. That was amazing to me.
Thank you. I appreciate
Literally when as that announcement went, I was just like, yes.
So did
The
I.
dream is real. We can't do it.
You definitely deserve it. I'm very proud of your hard work.
Yes.
5 minutes before we even went on, I was like, oh god, just be cool. Cool.
Just be cool. Just be your.
And like
just be
as soon as like we came on, like Nolan sat down, and I was like, "Hey, Nolan!" I'm like, okay, fucking cool. Gosh, like stop bothering these people. Like, yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was a pretty cool moment, and being on the multiplayer live was awesome with Tina and Grayson and Dan. It was dope. It was a dope moment.
It was a riot of an episode too. Holy cow!
Thank you. Shana, we didn't hear from you. How did you find Retro Replay? How did you find the community?
I found Retro Replay. I caught the first episode, amazingly enough. It was a Thursday night, and I was in a great deal of pain, and I didn't know why.
Oh no.
And it hurt so bad, and I was in tears. And I'm like, I won't be able to sleep. I need to find something to watch. And I happened to catch the Superman or the Spider-Man episode of Retro Replay. And for that 25 minutes, I completely lost all sense of pain because they had me laughing so hard. Tears were streaming down my face, especially with them arguing as a married couple. That's what got me. And I'm like,
Pretty
till
great.
I can find out what this pain,
That is
where
pretty great.
the pain is coming from, I'm going to watch this show every week like medicine till I can figure out what was going on. To make a long story short, what had happened is I got a new chair a year and a half ago. And I've had the same type of cushion in the wheelchair. But as your body ages, it changes. And what I ended up doing over that course of a year and a half is pinching my sciatic nerve. And it was so irritated that I kept falling down all the time, couldn't get in and out of bed. So what kept me going was watching Retro Replay every week. You'll get to laugh again. Just wait till Thursday. It'll be great. You'll laugh so hard, so much, And then one day I wrote, this is before we had live chat where you could just leave a comment and they'd read it later. Well, Nolan happened to be on the comment at the same time. And I showed up early to the viewing and I said, oh, I came early. I got the best seat in the house. Oh, wait a minute. I already have the best seat in the house because I came with my wheelchair. And Nolan wrote me back. He goes, that's the greatest attitude to have. Keep it up. I'm so proud of you. And I literally sat there and I cried. Because I'm like, no, he answered me so quick. I'm like, this is so great. I'm going to stick with this family. So from that point on, I've been with them since level 1.
Wow. That's incredible. Dude,
what a great way to get into the community by having Nolan directly respond to you.
Right? Yeah. This happened recently as well. Did you see recently on the live chat? I think there was quite a few new members on there, and Nolan was on live chat on Thursday, interacting with everybody and just shouting out quite a lot of like the new member, new guests or people who are just joining and stuff. And I thought that was so nice, and it's such a great way, like you say, to join the community when Nolan really does interact with you guys.
It's a rare thing.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that has always kept me around is just the genuine, nature of everybody involved in the show and the fact that they give back as much as, the viewers give into watching the show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's that was the whole thing about membership benefits. Remember, everybody used to just drop soup and they were like, we want to give you something for this. Stop. Yeah. We want to give you stuff for it because we feel bad that you
like discounts on shirts.
Like discount on merch. Yeah, right. The other a follow-up question to this kind of how you found the community is what does the community or what does Retro Replay mean to you? So I'm going to throw it to Michael first, and then we're going to hit Shana. So Michael.
First of all, especially in this time, this world that we live in right now where everyone is indoors and enclosed, I have made friendships with people from all over the world, literally all over the world, like Hungary and England, Australia, just Ireland, Texas.
We're not friends.
I mean, I was in New York.
Please, we're not friends. Unless you're talking about somebody else.
That's true.
South Africa, I guess, not really, but yeah, it's just your.
I mean, if you talk to some of the replayers,
if you've talked to Margot, she's from South Africa. Right. Danielle Power on the Facebook.
Again, it's just African. It's a literal global community, and it also made me appreciate how much fun it is to play games, and just how much fun it is to play games with other people.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, that's been one of my favorite things about our show here. Whenever I talk to people and I say our podcast is worldwide because we have guests from across the world.
Right.
And that's just our community. That's the replayer community. Just they're everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I actually had the first experience where I met a replayer in person, in public, just going out last week because I went to my local internet provider to talk to them, and I was wearing my Uncle Nolan shirt and the one that Shauna's wearing right now. And he was like, "Hey, are you a fan of Retro Replay?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan. And he's like, "Oh, I love that show." He's like, "I'm a big fan of Troy and Nolan and voice acting and video games." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Have you have you watched the
Heard of the
Uncharted
podcast?
multiplayer episode?
Oh,
And he's like, no, I've been waiting. I want to catch up on the playthroughs first. And I was like, well, just so you know, when you get there, I'm on
Dan's
that
doing this and
episode.
already signing an autograph for the guy to just hand it to him.
And I said that I
Yeah.
actually do
Have
a
you seen
podcast.
the multiplayer episode? That's me.
It's Stark Evil
Have you
Dash.
seen-
If you want to follow and subscribe, go
the
ahead.
Replayer podcast. Follow my Twitch. Like, we're just busting your chops.
Just
Dan.
took their
I know.
phone and just is already like putting in everything.
You see now. But no, I said like
cool,
I do
though.
a podcast, but that was my first time running into a replayer in public locally. That it was just kind of like, oh shit, like it's another replayer,
Right.
rock throw a distance away kind of thing.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love.
Yeah,
I
that-
love that
that'll-
about
that'll
wearing
be
merch.
fun.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I do. I think that's the best thing
When the
about wearing
world
merch.
gets able to be out in public again, and wearing these shirts, just like, because that was the one thing. Because I go to New York Comic Con every year. I've had gone there since 2016, and I was really hoping like I get to wear this one day and just see a bunch of people who'd be like, yeah, what's going to happen? Just like,
Yeah,
but
it's gonna happen.
now we get this, and we still get to at least,
For now, we have this.
For now.
for now.
But when New York
Mhm.
Comic Con does come open again, which I'm sure it will, either next year or the year after, like you're
Better
going to be
see
wearing
you
that, and then
there.
there's going to be like 50 other people also wearing that shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully more. Whoever goes to Comic Con.
I would love that to be a thing though, if we were to ever like go to a convention and like
all
let's
of
say
it.
a big
Show up in the red
Comic-Con
shirts.
convention. So it's hundreds of thousands of people possibly, but you get those few wearing a retro replay shirt and you can do the what's going to happen like as you
Yeah.
pass people.
Yeah.
That would be
That
awesome.
would actually be dope because you could find everybody really easily, especially if it's the
Mm.
red shirts.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like in a crowd, you could see them all really easily.
And I do
A
have
wave of red
I
shirts.
do
Yeah.
have a red
Yeah.
shirt. I just want everybody to know I do have the red shirt.
Mm.
You do also have red. Yeah, and this one's awesome as well because it says Team Nolan on the back.
Yeah.
So you would definitely also see them from the back as well because the red ones don't have anything on
Oh,
the
I
back.
don't know. I sit down a lot. You might miss it.
They would do a
We'll get you a
replay softball
sign.
game.
We'll get you an Uncle Noli hat.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect.
That'll work.
Shana, we're gonna throw the question out to you. What does the Retro Replay show or community mean to you?
Well, I have been now in isolation for 7 months. Self-isolation in my home. I've not been outside at all in those 7 months due to
Yeah.
COVID because I'm at high risk.
I was gonna say, do you have to take extra precautions?
That's why I'm in my house
Mm.
Mhm.
and not going out. With CP, it also means your muscles are tight, so that means my lungs are tight. So if I were to catch COVID, it would be very bad for me.
Mhm.
There's been 2 people with CP that have died
Oh,
from
no.
COVID in different states, but there's been 2 reported cases where it's
Wow.
been complications due to COVID. So that's why I've been inside this whole time. And I am so thankful because Retro Replay means family. And I'm thankful for Zoom because I've been able to see and talk to people, like Michael said, from all over the world.
Mhm.
I've gotten friendships that I never thought I would have because of it. And you've all really made me feel like family. So
Aw.
and it's kept me sane because think about it. You're inside for 7 months. If you don't have some way of communicating with somebody, seeing somebody's face, you just go nuts. So I'm very thankful for all of Retro Replay, for everyone who's a part of it in one way or another, because you've kept me basically alive.
Yeah. You're gonna make me cry.
Bring on the
You're so
tears.
sweet. You know what?
Keep laying it on there, Shana. Let's get those
This
tears.
is a very
Yeah.
special
I've
episode. of the
already done that
Podcast.
to Dan once, so I'm not gonna go on. But yeah, you guys have really helped me a great deal.
Oh man, Shana, that means so much. Like I don't speak for the whole community, but I definitely speak for myself, and like I'm sure Dan and probably Michael. Like we're so thankful to have you here, and it's so nice to see you in chat every single time. Like it's just so nice to see you in chat, in countdowns, on Zoom when I can get there occasionally. Dan sees you every Thursday. It's fucking dope, man, and we're so thankful that you're here. And heck yeah, we're all a family. Welcome, sister.
Yep.
We got you.
Amen.
Yeah, it's like we're family now, whether you like it or not, Shana.
Shana, my wife was actually born premature as well, so she has the similar not she's just similar things that she's gone through health wise, and I mean, you definitely remind me of her with the toughness and being able to kick ass through life.
Well,
so
and having a sense
good on you.
Having a sense of humor, and that's what's great about the community too, is everybody's got that little twist in their sense of humor.
Yeah.
That little Uncle Noli that lives inside of us.
Yeah, that
little Noli.
I've been meaning to get that checked.
Yeah, listen. Somebody needs to talk to that
Don't let
person.
that Uncle Noli go
that's
too
the
big.
warning I would give anyone who's not. That's the warning I would give to anyone who's never seen Retro Replay before, is Uncle Noli after a while comes to live inside your head.
That's true.
I can't tell you how many times I do this, like naturally. I'm doing it to my son. He doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Just be like, all right, boy, listen to me. All right.
To give you an example of the sense of humor of the community, on Thursdays, there's the happy hour that Randy and Dan have. So they've designated me their designated driver. Because everybody in that group tends to drink. And it got so funny with this ongoing joke every week that Charlotte's Snape Fantasy made me a shirt that says designated driver, and it has the wheelchair symbol on it.
That's wonderful.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I love that. Shout out to Snape.
The little twist.
Snape Fantasy, Charlotte Merritt.
She's making you a new shirt too for the thing that we did on my channel. Shana started coming to my streams on Facebook, and she was the only person there that I knew. So it was like, you know what, Shana, if you don't mind, you could be my mod. So now she's my mod on Facebook.
Nice.
And we came up with the joke of her being the mobile mod.
The mobile mod. Oh my god, that's brilliant.
And I think now Snape's working on a new shirt for that, right?
Yeah, she's working
excellent
on a shirt that has the wheelchair symbol, but with flames shooting out the back of it. So
it's so cute. I love it.
It says mobile mod on it. So
that's awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think having a sense of humor is always
it really
paramount to who you are as a person and the strength and stuff that you can go through. I think people who have a sense of humor can definitely survive more.
And this show definitely has
that. The show's kind of funny. Through. Yeah. Listen.
It ain't bad.
It's all right. It's all right. Listen.
This is the one where we reveal that there's writers, right?
Yeah, we're watching this until there's something else, right? Okay. So we are going to move on to questions about your gaming experience in life. And I might start with Shana because you had already almost started this about playing your last game in 1989. Mm-hmm. So what was your first introduction to gaming, or if that was your last, feel free to talk about that.
My first introduction to gaming was my mom. I don't know if you have this in Ireland, but we have yard sales here in the United States. So my mother went to a yard sale and found an Atari 2600 with about 10 or 15 games. Cool. And so my first game was Pac-Man on the Atari 20.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it's a great start. Classic.
And I still have it.
Oh, nice.
No way.
Cool.
I still have it.
Man.
Oh, man.
I
awesome.
also still have the other thing she found another time was a Nintendo 64. And I still have that.
Nice.
You got to take your mom to like Storage Wars or something. Like all of a sudden she's going to be finding these amazing things.
Yeah. I know. So I still have the Nintendo 64 and the Atari 2600.
I found
and
a Michael Jackson at a yard sale. The Genesis game.
Honestly, I
Moonwalker.
thought you were making a joke and said that you
I
found
thought, yeah,
Michael
I was like,
Jackson
where's
at
I
a
found
yard
Michael
sale,
Jackson.
and I was like, huh, interesting.
There's one.
Pre or
So-
post mortem, like
You call yourself a writer, Dan?
Do I?
And
what?
yeah, so the last
Sorry,
time
Shana.
the last time I played a console was 1989, and that's because the game controllers changed, and my
Okay.
friends were trying to show me how it worked. And my hands, because of my CP, I couldn't hold the controller and move the buttons or push the buttons at the same time, and I got made fun of for it. Oh, you can't hold a controller. You're so
Not
stupid.
cool.
Blah, 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 blah.
Those jerks. Where are they now?
I have no idea. So
We'll
I-
get them. We'll
I
fucking get them. Don't worry,
We'll
Shana.
get 'em.
Oh, yeah. I know a few guys.
We're on it. I'm Googling.
Uncle Noli knows some guys.
Oh, no,
Uncle Noli knows some
I'll make a
fucking
call.
guys. He'll fuck them up. Sorry, Shana, go ahead.
But then, so I didn't play console games anymore, but I got into PC games.
Okay.
So my parents, because of my schooling wasn't very good, would only buy like the educational games. So like Carmen San Diego,
Perfect.
where
Math Blaster?
Math Blaster.
Freddy Fish.
I could never finish it though, because me and CP and math and numbers don't mesh well.
I was just glad someone else knows Math Blaster.
I know Math
Honestly,
Blaster, too.
Shana, math and most people doesn't mesh well, so don't worry. Like,
Yeah. Well,
math
so
and
my
me don't mesh
favorites
well.
were Where in the World is Carmen San Diego and Where in the USA. Those were my two favorites. My mama also did buy me Mist. So I did
Oh, nice. Mist.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna Google
That
it.
game.
Shout out to Mist because Brandy just bought that on Steam like a week ago. It's like $6 on Steam.
I just Googled mist, and that was
blew
definitely the
my
right thing to
mind.
Google. It just comes up with actual mist.
But
It's
I think
MYST.
I now know that from Googling. Thank you.
Google already told me, Dan. Thanks.
Sorry,
I guess-
sorry.
I guess Pagan missed the point. I'll go. Thank you, everybody.
Show yourself
It's been
out.
great.
Thank you so
Ash-
much. Take care.
Actually, I don't like.
That's what's great about this community is it doesn't matter what your gaming knowledge is because it's
Mhm.
all about the hang anyway. And
Yeah.
I'm an example that it's all about the hang. And I've learned a lot more about gaming from you all than I ever had before. So I haven't I feel like I've gained what I've lost I gained later.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
I know that there's adaptable controllers out there, and one day I hope to get one, along with a proper PlayStation or Xbox. So that's
Definitely like foreseeable as well, because there's definitely some stuff out there that is out, like that you can now use, like accessible controllers. Stuff that has had like a huge like spike, I think, in the last 10 years or something, right? So
Xbox pioneered
for
their new
sure.
adaptive controller too that came out like 2 or 3 years ago now.
nice.
It's a huge push for adaptability, accessibility.
Yeah,
for
and there was a
disabled
huge
gamers.
thing about what The Last of Us, right? Having massive accessibility options for people who had some sort of disability. I'm not quite sure on what they were, but I knew that there was like quite a few articles coming out that they were
Yeah.
making the game more accessible from color blindness and things like that as well.
the interesting thing that I saw with adaptable controlling was there's a guy who is paralyzed from the neck down, so he can only use his mouth. And he does sharpshooting.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And there are gamers that seek him out to be their sniper. And this guy,
Yeah.
all he does is
Wow.
puff air through a plastic straw.
He
and
controls
gets
the game just with his
kills.
mouth with a straw.
No
It's
way.
the
Yeah, he's
most-
like a pro COD player too.
yeah,
That's
he
amazing.
won
It
awards
is.
for it. He's won awards for it and everything. And his
I've seen
mom,
videos. It's crazy impressive.
his mom said that it was the greatest thing he could ever do because it strengthened his lung muscles. When you're paralyzed, that's kind of the first thing you
It's
lose.
hard to keep them lungs strong if you can't really.
Right.
Video
Cardio.
games save lives.
Yes, man.
Has saved his life.
Yeah, fuck, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to look that up, Shannon. That's fucking
I
dope, man.
cannot think of his name, but you'll be able to find him. Just
I'll Google it as I usually do.
Just make sure you check your spelling.
Yeah. How do you spell cod? Ah.
Careful.
Right?
holy mackerel.
K-U-D.
Nice.
Oh fuck.
Damn that asshole.
Right? That bass.
Guys, I'm the only dad here. Those are my kinds of jokes, okay?
Listen.
Stay in your lane.
What? Stay in your lane.
I'm a stepdad.
All right, Michael. Over to you. Remind us about your introduction to gaming and the platform you're playing right now.
Well, you and I share a common interest and love for The Sims.
That's true.
And one of my favorite things you've ever done was your Sim dress up video.
Oh, did you like that? Thanks.
Love that. One of your
Thank you.
finer moments online with
For
that.
those who don't know what he's talking about, there was a video that I made of I think I published the Street Fighter E1 to choose your
Yes,
character.
you did the first one
Yeah,
with
Oh,
choose your
right.
character.
And
I
then
got
there's
it.
another
different
one where there's
outfits.
a Sims
I love
one.
that.
There's a Sims version that I made, but I don't think I published on Twitter. I think I published it maybe
it
on
on
Instagram
Instagram?
or on
Yeah, I
TikTok.
think
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same thing, but just different style.
Weren't we
and
talking about
I
doing
thought
like a
it was-
jokey replayer version of that too? Like choose your replayer, and we were gonna ask
Choose your
replayers to do
replayer.
the different start screen thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, fuck, we should still do that. That is
Yeah, we talked
awesome.
about that ages ago, and we haven't done that.
Yeah,
You just
we'll
take like
go-
screen caps from each interview and
Yes.
just have it be the select player screen.
That would be cool.
I just blew Plagan's mind.
Genius.
Like Mortal Kombat, just like all the replayers' images.
Yeah.
Because no joke, we did want to do something with all the footage that we had for all the video footage from every replayer. That is
Mhm.
fucking. That is.
I happen to know a guy who does graphics, so
Yeah, send him my number. It's you. All right. Well, is The Sims your favorite game? Do you have a favorite
It still
game?
is my favorite game of all time, and I just found out there is an expansion that just
Star
came out,
Wars.
Star Wars,
Yeah.
where they put you on the area that the Disney Galaxy's Edge Park is based on. So it's like being able to go on vacation there, and I'm just like, I thought I was out, but they keep pulling me back in.
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of. You have a great
Yeah.
conversation with Stephanie, honestly. Stephanie
Yeah,
has been playing The Sims forever.
And the thing is, you always still get stuck on just the creation
Yep.
of your first
Just the
person,
character
and
creator.
then hours later you start the game.
I will say though,
But
I
it
fe-
did
I-
give me an appreciation for interior decorating, though.
for sure. I feel like though, a lot of the Sims games, I think the basic version you can get bored of very quickly. It's only when you
Oh,
start
yeah.
adding expansion packs that you're like, ooh, now I can. Have
It's like,
pets.
oh, they grow up.
Ooh.
Oh, I
Yeah,
have to go to college.
Now I can
Oh.
get a vampire set, or So I
Yeah,
think,
eventually they realized people don't want to do real life stuff.
Yeah.
Let's have them go to space. Let's let them be vampires.
Yeah.
Let's have Bigfoot be a roommate.
Yeah, exactly. So,
real life.
Drew's in the game? What? That's weird.
Chewbacca.
Does Drew know? They're using his
I-
wife.
if he's not getting a pretty penny from Maxis, I don't know what's going on. He's
That's
missing out.
upsetting. Yeah, missed
But
opportunity.
lately I have been playing a lot of Apple Arcade games, just because they're super fun, super easy to play, and a lot of surprisingly good games that come out there that you can actually get addicted to. There's this game that's similar to the Untitled Goose Game called Sasquatch, where it's kind of the same deal. Very similar art. It's you're just basically a Sasquatch trying to go through the park, trying to blend in, trying to grab a sandwich or two for the picnics. It's just adorable and very peaceful.
Nice.
And another favorite game is called What the Golf.
What the Golf. That was one of the
What
few
the
Apple
Golf is
Arcade
from
games I've played
Hilarious.
too. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I love those games, and I know Dan, you've played a lot of those games too, where it's just basically there's no rhyme or reason.
It's just
to-
bonkers.
It's just chaos.
Yeah.
the one where you and Brandy were trying to load stuff into
the
delivery truck or something
delivery
like that.
Oh, the
simulator
the
thing?
delivery service.
The left-handed kitchen simulator as well.
Game
like,
in dreams. That it was like you
Yeah.
could only cook and do everything with one hand, so you controlled the hand with two joysticks, and it was like one
I
joystick
love that
moved the
kind of
hand
stuff.
and the other joystick turned the hand. So it was just this doesn't make any sense. You're just
And don't get me
That's
wrong,
good,
like
though.
I'll still play like AAA games like Avengers I just finished, and still playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Mhm. It's a long
Waiting
game.
on Cyberpunk. Waiting on Cyberpunk so
Come
bad.
on,
I can't
November.
wait for that.
Yeah.
I know. girl. And I've just as I've told you before now, I've dipped into the world of Twitch streaming,
Yes.
which is, man, as a person who used to I was doing shows in New York and New Jersey all the time, and with like comedy stuff, it's been a tough year not to be able to go on stage.
Mhm.
And it really hit hard, and there was like a lot of things that I was just really missing out on and doing.
Yeah.
So I gave it a shot, and people seem to like to watch, and I have fun with interacting with people. So yeah, I also recently found an emulator so I can play all my old games I used to play on Nintendo and
Nice.
Genesis. So yeah, I'm having fun with that so far, and
So mainly
Yeah,
is the
it's-
platform
yeah.
still PlayStation?
yeah, I saw what the Xbox series was going to be, and I admit I was tempted because Game Pass seems like a really cool option
It
to just
is.
have as your digital console and then Game Pass, and I was like,
Well,
really
even if
tempted.
you don't have a physical, I mean, there's a digital and
You
a
could-
physical console for
Yeah.
both PlayStation
Yeah,
and
you
Right.
could you could
Xbox.
get an Xbox One X and
Yeah.
still have access to Game
Listen.
Pass and stuff like that, and it's not. Sorry.
Sony still wins with just being the easiest branded version of their consoles. I mean,
Sure.
it's just like, here,
yeah.
you want standard
Branded.
or digital? That's
Yeah.
all it is.
But that's the same thing as Xbox, basically, is standard and digital. It's-
Xbox Series One,
Yeah.
X, Series
Yeah.
LT squared.
Let's all like pour one out for the poor parents who are buying their kids Xbox One
Listen,
X's
God.
this year.
Parents
instead of a Series
never
X.
know what the hell they're called, regardless. Even if
No.
it's simply
As
numbered
the
1,
former
2,
Toys
3,
R Us
4.
video game department employee,
So
I
was
can tell
I.
you that
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, we
Hold
know
up.
the struggle, man.
Yeah.
Hold up a minute. Just hold up a minute. Because at least Sony had the decency to fucking label their PlayStations in numbers.
They got
One, two,
that
three, four,
ball
five.
first. They were
very simple.
Yes.
because they were there first. They were able to do that.
Right.
That is dog shit. Coming up with that is dog shit. Xbox
You ask
360,
any marketing
Take it,
Xbox
shoot
One,
fire.
Xbox One S, and now it's Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X.
I
And
feel
I
like the
swear to
series
God,
is actually going
the
to start
amount
making
of
it
people-
easier.
I
In the
just
long term.
know. I don't
I'm
think
just
so
gonna
at
go
all.
cross-eyed if we
Those-
try to keep naming all the consoles.
The poor parents are gonna be like, "Hey kid, I got you the new Xbox," and it's an Xbox One X, and the kid.
Every kid is just gonna be in fear, like, oh, I hope it's the right one.
Yeah. It doesn't look right.
I mean, that's
It's
not
all
that's
bull.
not wrong.
Gamble.
I mean,
Yeah.
up until the PlayStation, every other gaming console has had a name of some sort. They didn't have a
They
numbering
could
convention.
name them.
PlayStation
better.
was the better one to choose to go with a numbering convention and just keep
It's
it simple.
just- they know their consumer.
That they're
yes,
simple.
I am a simple-minded person, so I'm
we
going
both said
with
it
a
at the same time.
PS5.
I feel better.
I will say though, Xbox Game Pass is absolute amazing, and with
Oh, yeah,
Bethesda
it's a
now
brilliant
buying-
system.
Or Microsoft now buying Bethesda, like Xbox Game Pass just gained a whole ton of value.
That blew
So
my
like,
mind.
Plus they have EA.
$7.5 billion. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
7.25.
7.2. Still,
Yeah.
there's a billion after all
There's
Billion.
a billion after that number. Yeah. So I think like Xbox would be dope. Even something like, I mean, if you were to get an accessible controller, Shayna, like I think Xbox will give you so much more opportunities. Not that I'm trying to pull you away from PlayStation. I love PlayStation. I'm a diehard.
I've actually
That's all.
talked to
That's it.
Shayna about this previously because we've talked
Have
about
you?
the adaptive controller, and I was mentioning about the Xbox and getting an adaptive controller, and now with the Series S, which is basically going to be the X, the old one,
Yes, yeah.
but it's a more powerful.
See, this is
version
like
of
trying to
the-
describe like a time travel movie.
I know.
Series S is the One X.
essentially.
So then
Yeah.
Biff
No, you're
goes
right,
to
you're right.
1985, and when he comes back, he doesn't exist anymore because
Here's my thing though. I want to also play Uncharted and things. So there's I'm
True.
caught between. There's things that I want to experience as a first time gamer that you all have already had. Uncharted. There's things Ori on Xbox is what I want.
Yeah, Ori's amazing.
But there's two different game systems, but I want to see them both. I want to play these things.
Yeah.
I just imagine Shana killing it on Halo.
Worse than Roland playing Uncharted, but it'll be fun.
Halo wrecking it.
You'll love it. I mean, yeah, I think you're so right, because PlayStation exclusives really are beautiful games. They're really great games. Not that Xbox exclusives aren't, but I think when you just have an Xbox or a Game Pass, you do feel a bit of FOMO about like God of War or Uncharted or The Last of Us, or you know what I mean.
Spider-Man.
So it's kind of like Spider-Man. So yeah,
Spider-Man.
I
You say Spider-Man.
Mr. Spider-Man. The doctor will see you now.
Mr. Spider-Man.
Hello,
Mr.
my name is Herschel
Mr.
Spiderman.
Batman on the phone. Mr. Batman. Excuse me, Mr. Batman. Do you have time? Hey, Mr. Batman's on the phone again. What does he want?
Oh, sorry. This is a whole new side to Pagan that I'm enjoying.
What do you want,
Kind
Mr.
of
Batman?
sounds like Harley Quinn.
Does he owe him money?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Pagan does her Harley.
I'm a big fan.
I was doing something on like Twitch the other day, and like it was because I was playing BioShock Burial at Sea, and everybody down in Rapture has this like 1940s, 1950s.
Almost
come on, doll. Why don't you come over?
Yeah, why don't you come over? We're gonna have some cigarettes. It's good for you, don't you know?
Don't you know?
4 out of 5 doctors recommend it.
And they said something, and I was mimicking them, and I was like, "What? People don't use knives anymore? Where is everybody?" And someone's like, "Oh my god, I love your Harley impression." And I'm like, "That was not Harley. That was just that accent. It's just that person
Pagan
said
goes to Brooklyn.
I did it back. Nobody uses knives anymore. Where's the classic kind of murderer?
Mr. J.
Mr.
See,
J.
I love that era just because of like, I have done, like college radio and professional radio. It's just like I love listening to those old, like,
the old radio plays are
WNBC
awesome.
presents the Merv Griffin, and like all those kinds of old things. It was just like, give me more. And I miss those days. I miss
Hepburn.
Yeah.
Darling, nobody's a baby in the corner.
A couple Halloweens ago, I found a recording on YouTube of Orson Welles performing.
Yes.
War of the Worlds.
Ooh.
From
such a brilliant piece.
From beginning to end, and I figured out why people were so scared.
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard it. I'd like to know.
Because
it's the original trolling.
Yeah, it was the original troll.
Oh yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
The first thing they recorded was Dracula, and they introduced all the characters for the story. When they started War of the Worlds, though, because he wanted to play a joke, they went right into the story without introducing anybody. So
nobody
interrupt
knew.
this broadcast to bring you news from Grover's Field in New Jersey.
Oh
An
my God,
alien craft ship has come down.
And when you listen to it, it actually sounds like real interruptions, real news broadcasts,
People lost their minds.
People died because of this.
Yeah, there was riots. They ran out of their cars. They were like, "This is it. It's all gone now." Now it's our entertainment.
And now we laugh.
Yeah, and now we look back and laugh.
Those silly people.
All those silly
I just
people
imagined like the
believing
next day,
apocalypse.
like, Mr. Wells, did you see the news? Yes, it was wonderful.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Do you know how much this will do for our show?
This will be wonderful. They'll make a movie out of this, I swear.
So I want to bring back to the show, and what I was going to ask you was, with recent announcements and everything, like we are going to go into like this Get Good announcement shortly that happened this week. But is there anything that you would like to see on the show, or somebody you'd like to see on the show, or anything you're excited about Retro Replay's future?
Oh yes,
Michael, go ahead.
I want to see Nolan do virtual stuff again. I think a Father Knows Best VR would be amazing.
Yeah.
Him and Cooper trying to do the co-op VR games. It just, those were some of my favorite episodes when Nolan had the headset on. It just nearly dying.
They were pretty
but
good.
just like
Yeah, they were really great.
him and Cooper, they're already such naturals
Yeah.
together. I mean, like it just, and Cooper just comes off screen and it's like he's been doing this the whole time. But yeah, I really would love to see a Father Knows Best VR, or that wonderful recommendation of Playing With Myself, where Nolan plays games that he's in. Come
Playing with
on,
myself.
I love that.
make that happen.
That was a great idea. Yeah, dude, I love that. VR would be great. I think the VR when they did it back in the day, was that last year? Fuck, it was last year, wasn't it? They had some good games, man.
What if
I loved
Nolan
how
played
Nolan
Iron
just
Man
got
VR?
really immersive. I still love the original, like when he did the deep sea dive.
That first
Yeah.
one.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
And he tried to punch
His
the shark.
impression of His
Super Hot was awesome as well. When he's just figuring out, like, I shoot this way, boom, boom, just becoming an
Super
action
Hot's a
star in
great
front of us.
game.
Super Hot is a fantastic game.
What were you saying, Shayna?
him doing Jacques Cousteau. His impression of Jacques Cousteau during that was spot on and so true, because that's exactly how he sounded.
Yeah, he's
Is
good
there-
at that.
Yeah, you should go into voice acting or
He
something.
should-
I mean, he's pretty
I
great.
know,
Should follow
Mark
that.
that one up the tally of how many times you've made that joke.
Oh wow.
really.
Shanna, what about you? Is there anything about the show or the future of the show that you'd like to see, or anything you're excited about?
For the future of the show, I would like to see somebody on the show using an adaptable controller. I think it would be
That would be amazing.
someone show how it works.
Yeah.
No, it's
Kind of like in a tutorial, or
no,
Ooh.
just
Just-
using it
just going into it like a deep dive.
right. I think it would be more educational that way for people who've not seen it, because I know everybody knows
Taking
it's
notes.
out there, but nobody's really seen how it all works. So it'd be neat to watch Nolan's face if somebody's using it and he's there. I think that would be great. I love Father Knows Best. The whole thing is just great. I don't really know. I'd rather be surprised by what they come up with as far as anything else. But yeah, someone using an adaptable controller would be a big. I think that would boost the confidence of other disabled gamers if they could see, it's Nolan North. How many video games has he given his voice to?
Mm-hmm.
He's Iron Man, for crying out loud. That would be
You'll be there for a while, Michael.
amazing
Yeah,
to see him work next to someone using that technology.
That's amazing, Shayna. You know what? We've never had anything like that suggested
That's
before.
very
and
unique.
listen, I mean, Drew is listening. We know Drew listens to the show, and I am an ear on the show as well. So I'm happy to put that forward and see if there's any way that
Get it done, Drew. Get it.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Listen, I don't have that much power, but that's a great
really
idea.
like
It's a great
that.
suggestion. I love that. I think that's a cool idea. That is dope. Sorry,
It definitely
I just
goes
thought
in
about that
line
for a minute.
with,
I was
like-
that's awesome. I love that.
Dope.
Dope.
Fun to see Nolan watching like the speed runs and
Yeah.
just all of that. Him observing the gamer world outside of himself. It too is pretty. It's been awesome to see the expanding retro replay universe.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of enjoy that as well, because we all know that Nolan wasn't a gamer, and maybe a gamer
Yeah.
now and everything, you know what I mean? So when
As far as
somebody
we knew, he played Lego with his kids, and that's about it.
right, yeah. But when somebody like Anthony Caliber comes on and just speed runs the crap out of The Last of Us and Uncharted Part 3, it's so incredible to be like, wow, this is a gamer who truly has talent and time to go through everything and make everything a passion and a drive to continue to get the world record. So I thought that was a really interesting aspect of the show, to see Nolan not play,
Watch his
but observe.
face.
it.
Watch his face through the whole thing. It's like watching a little kid at Christmas.
It's
Oh my
so
God, I
great.
can't believe you did
12 seconds? Took you 12 seconds? Yeah, I love it.
It doesn't
was
make
so good.
sense to me. Like, that's a superpower.
Dude, I don't know. That man, I have no idea how he does that. Anthony, shout out, bro, if you ever listen to this.
It's a lot of knowing how to break the game. And I think back to like when I was a
Yeah.
kid and I used to do things like that in Mario Brothers, like those tiny little
Yep.
skips in.
If you go above the wall when you after the sewer level.
Yeah,
you
and there's
just
like
go all the way
there's a
across.
secret warp pipe in Mario Brothers that you can use to jump ahead. And there's 2 or 3 of them, right, that you can use to get all the way to the end of the game. So that's how you speedrun Mario Brothers, is using these secret warp pipes. You can get all the way down to the game in like 10 minutes. If that.
See, I've never broken a game. I've maybe broken a game like accidentally where you'd step through like
and then the game's
foliage or something
broken
like that.
and you're fucked.
Oh yeah,
And
it's not a
like,
glitch.
yeah.
It's a feature.
Like you go in and then it's just white space, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And Adam would have to come in and be like, oh, the developers obviously did not mean for that glitch to be there. Like that glitch will probably be reported. I actually think that happened when I was playing The Last of Us Part 1.
Like
The
fall
first time
through the level and you're just like falling.
there was
infinitely
a fault in the level where I went through the cabinet and the cabinet stuck, and I was like, and then it just went white, and I was like, okay, I've definitely broken this game. I have to reset now. I had to redo the level. That was irritating.
That happened to me with Mario 64 all the time, where it's just like all of a sudden, like you go at one accidentally misplaced polygon on the castle, and there's Mario just like, no.
And there it is. Yeah, fuck. But fascinating stuff. Like, I mean, I think it's really interesting to see those little bits of the games. Like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that you could cheat the game. I thought that was fascinating. Like when he did the speedrun for Last of Us Part 1 and like shot the bloater in the foot before he came down in that section with Ellie and David. My mind blew. I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, oh, you could do that?
I didn't know. That's awesome. Like, if you missed, you're fucked. You have to do the whole thing, like, and you have to play with the bloater. But like, holy shit, that was awesome.
I would say on that note too, like it's unlikely you would even do that because you, as a normal player, are so panicking dealing with everything else. You don't have the time to be like, hey, I know that bloater's dropping down from it there. I'm going to shoot at him and see what happens.
True. Especially the first or second time you play it, you don't even notice he's dropped down from there.
Yeah. You're just
like,
like, where the fuck that bloater come from?
Yeah. I was too busy dealing with the rest of the dead things that were still alive.
Go away, other dead thing. I've got more dead things to worry about.
I am trying to get through story.
It's just playing like rude.
Excuse me. There was a good bit of exposition going on here, and you fucked it. If you wouldn't mind, thank you. So getting on to like show discussion for like Retro Replay, we do have some exciting announcements coming up, including Get Good. Ta-da! Get Good was announced this week, starting today, I guess when we're recording, but it will already have aired after we've aired this episode. So Get Good starts 5 p.m. PST for 3 hours, a live show with Liam McIntyre and Todd Lassance.
Holy cow!
Oh boy! For free.
How are you feeling about it? For free.
3 hours for free, folks.
You don't get that kind of content anywhere.
The whole
else
messaging in that advertisement for that trailer was so awesome.
That was a very well done trailer.
And shout out to the like shitting on themselves to promote it. And like, you don't want to watch this garbage channel, so watch this one for free. And I know where you were
Nolan, that's you.
I was going to say, like, shout out to Stefan and Paul for doing such an amazing job on the editing and the sound design on that clip was awesome.
It's amazing.
But yeah, you're so right. Like, it's so funny that they poked fun at themselves and like took chat that was like, what is the show? Why is the show even there? And all this, like, just watch them. And Nolan refusing to work with them was funny.
Yeah, and
probably
what
true.
do you mean they don't have to pay $500 for this?
Damn it. Nolan was looking to make
you guys lost good money with that.
Yeah, listen, you could charge for that content.
People
I
would
pay for it. In fact, I do.
We do.
We're members. No, I think it's great content. I think it's really cool to see Liam and Todd come over from Twitch to do Get Good on Retro Replay. Now, I know that they're only having one show at the moment on Retro Replay every Saturday night, 5 p.m. PST for 3 hours. But they will continue on Twitch separately and together, I believe. It is their show.
It is
And we
very
just-
fun to watch them play.
Yeah.
It is too, and I've watched their Twitch streams too, and I'm curious now because I wasn't sure with the retro replay inclusion. Pagan, maybe you can answer this with your powers that be. The Get Good that's going to be on retro replay tonight, is that going to be a live stream to YouTube?
Yes.
So like their live streams to Twitch, but on the retro replay channel.
Yeah, I believe so. It'll be live tonight from 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Now we know.
PST.
Everybody else is going to know by the
their
time they hear
dynamic
this
is so
anyways.
cool too.
It
Like,
really
they
is.
used to be roommates when they were young and up and coming actors, and then if anyone watched them on Spartacus, you have
That little show?
Spartacus and yeah, that little
That HBO thing? Whatever.
Spartacus and Caesar playing video games together. I mean, it's just like it's a fun dynamic of seeing two really good friends play video games together. It's worked before. Let's do it again.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, I think Liam and Todd have a great dynamic, like you said, but they also have such a great sense of humor that will work so well with the show.
Oh yeah.
And they engage so much with their audience.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's the biggest draw of them being live, honestly, because they are
Liam
live
retweets
streaming.
like
He really
everybody
does.
who responds to him. He's just
Yeah.
like, I'm like, dude, you have a kid. Like, you just...
He makes time. He makes time.
yeah,
It's
he
awesome.
does. He does.
Yeah, he has a kid that
Agreed.
likes to chew on his headphones, apparently, because
So cute. So
he's holding
cute.
him and he's chewing on the phone.
So I think, Dan, you're right. It's going to be live tonight from 5 p.m. PST, but it will be available on the show afterwards anyway. And like I say, they will continue on Twitch as well. I know that's what I think. Liam had a Q&A recently on his Twitch channel about the Retro Replay partnership. And he would continue to do almost like UK friendly times on his Twitch as well, so that you kind of don't miss out on his content too, because I know that he is conscious of the fact that like it's going to be 1 a.m. for Irish and UK and European viewers. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit late for us, but at least you'll still have the content available on the channel, and then you'll also have them on Twitch. So go and sub if you haven't.
I also forgot that he played Weather Wizard on The Flash.
He
the
did.
CW
He was in the
series.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's Liam McIntyre.
Liam.
The more I listen to the two of them, the more I'm trying to refine my Australian accent impression.
You can do it. I believe in you, buddy.
I really appreciate Liam's character in Con Man.
Yes,
because he
that is
the
man.
The
Can
lost
we just like
Hemsworth?
Can we give some appreciation
Lost
to that
Hemsworth?
movie basically being the spring off point for all of this stuff?
Oh,
happening?
yeah,
because
Con Man.
Yeah.
PJ able to bring all that together,
Mhm.
just steamrolling it into, God help us, the content that we need to survive in this world right now.
Yeah,
I also
basically.
will try to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I watched Con Man because I realized that like Con Man kind of started all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like we wouldn't have retro replay if it wasn't for Con Man. I think in some small detail.
In some small way. Yeah.
PJ,
Yeah.
I was
all
gonna
you.
say shout out to PJ as well, because as you were saying, like Liam McIntyre is really on the engagement and content, and so is Todd. But so is PJ. PJ likes to
Oh,
engage.
yeah.
People likes to actively come in on the Facebook group and like and post and everything, and post behind the
the
scenes
virtual
photos. And
glass of
PJ,
wine. Cheers.
we're
to you.
here for it. We are fucking here for it. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, good things. Good things come to the show. Moving on to show discussion, then we had two shows this week. We had Uncle Nole, and we had Retro Replay Nolan comments or reacts to comments. So
Come on.
let's discuss, shall we?
Yes, let's dive deep into the.
Let's dive deep
the
into
knowledge.
Uncle Nolan's advice. Don't take it like
Don't take it.
don't take it.
Don't listen to Uncle
The
Nolly.
things I learned from Uncle
Mostly.
Noli this week were he speaks Spanish
Right?
and what not to do with Band-Aids. Oh,
I
my
also
God.
thought, like, did anybody else think that, though? I think, Shana, maybe you're on my page here, where he was like, or you could use Band-Aids for the chafing of the nipples. And I'm like, please don't. That is
Like-
so painful to rip off. Are you kidding me? Oof.
Yeah, I know from experience. I mean,
Medical tape, maybe.
cut that.
All I could think
That's
of
just a regular Saturday night for you, Michael.
Hey.
Hey. But yeah, man, he does speak.
was like hot wax it's the equivalent of hot wax.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, Nolan, that's not a good idea. No.
You're so kinky. Just kidding.
I love the set though. I love the
Yes,
just
the change.
Yeah.
So good.
because that is what I grew up with. Like that is like the going to the pizzeria and that guy just being there like, hey kid, let me tell you something, all right? and then my mom going, don't listen to him. Don't just
Don't talk
back
to the
away.
strange man. Come on. Come on, Michael.
Here's
Let's
a
go.
quarter.
I
play
almost
the
wish that he had
games.
like a big bowl of like pasta and meatballs sitting there or something with him too.
Oh, I'm sure he's requested
Or
it.
just like
Even if it's
ramen on
fake.
a burger or something, and just been like,
But he would eat
You
it,
know
and then
what
they'd
you
have to
want?
refill it again for continuity.
Yeah.
they,
Get some plastic
they do
meatballs.
it all in one take. Let's all
Yeah.
be real here. It's all one roll. That's
And
fine.
every question, and then
Listen, he
it's a
needs
signature
them to
move.
read. Yeah, Shana, good point. He speaks Spanish. We learned this week.
To piggyback off that, I love that how he talks about the Mexican food and like there's good Mexican food out there, and Taco Bell is not Mexican food.
Yeah.
I had a special laugh for that one, and certain listeners will know what I'm talking about.
Taco Bell is a last resort.
Yeah.
Taco Bell is when
Taco
you realize
Bell
you've made a lot of mistakes.
Is Taco
beforehand.
Bell, and I appreciate it for itself within that standing, but I never think of Taco Bell as Mexican food.
Oh no! It's its own little tiny corner.
It
of the
is
food
its
pyramid.
own thing.
It's like a little over there.
It's that special. It has its own thing.
I don't know about
I-
special.
I mean, I want to try Taco Bell. I feel like I've missed out on
Taco.
something.
All
When I
right,
was
Pagan, we need to get
Taco?
you
Is it not
super
taco?
drunk and then go through a drive-through at 2 a.m. That's the true way to
I
experience
feel like
Taco
I've
Bell.
had
It
this
is.
conversation with Ash.
We
Ash
talked
was
about-
like, we're gonna get you drunk, and we're gonna get you everything from the
the
menu.
only
I'm
way
like,
to enjoy fast food that
fine.
way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, it is your last resort.
Mhm.
It is like there's nothing else open. What do we get? Taco Bell.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell.
Fuck. To be fair, I think when we were over in LA, we came across a Taco Bell late at night, and I can't remember if it was closed or we just didn't go.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure, like, I was looking at the menu and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And then I'm pretty sure it was closed. And I was like, huh.
Taco Bell now has a grilled cheese burrito, by the way.
Oh,
That's not
God.
Mexican food. It's
No.
delicious, though.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna barf. We talk more about this. No. This is.
And also pay to be close to a bathroom after you eat it.
That's the consensus.
Guys,
yes.
what the fuck?
Really?
Why
We're
do you
just
go
speaking
there?
the truth.
Why does Ash
We
go
don't
there?
know.
You don't have any idea.
We don't know.
Maybe Ash just has stomachs of steel.
It's a mystery.
Stomachs.
It's a mystery folded in with cheese and sauce.
And
in
what
there.
looks like cheese and what looks like meat.
and squirted out of a caulk gun and just put together.
Fuck.
That's
American
not how sour
staple.
cream should be applied to food.
This conversation went weird, like Spanish food.
Oh, now it went weird.
I'm hungry. I am hungry.
Get some
Is
taco there.
there? I kind of like that though. And then when he started speaking Spanish, and I was like, of course he does. Is there anything he can't do? Fuck. Is there
There's a
anything else?
question for that he can answer.
Yeah, probably. I'll send it to him. No, is there anything you can't do?
Dear Pagan, you're fired.
Dear Pagan, who are you again?
Don't question me.
Basically, yeah. I get chucked in the cage. There's a mini cage right next to Drew's. Like it's even smaller.
No,
You don't want the
poor
mini
thing.
cage.
I get into the cage, but
No.
Oh, we've heard stories.
I want a virtual background. So next time we do Zoom, I'll just put like a cage in the background. Because I think Aaron was in the live chat this week and was like, "Pagan, blink twice if they're working you against your will." And I was like, "Blink, blink." They're not. Just want to point that out.
Just for the record.
I believe you.
Don't fire me. Yeah, I believe you. Anything else you'd like to point out from Uncle Noli this week? Something that stood out to you, or I thought you were particularly funny, or
It never fails to be funny to me. It really doesn't. I mean, like, again, this is a guy like this. I know it's a little bit true about him, like the way he is in a way he grew up he's an East Coast guy as well, but like these were the guys that like were in my neighborhood just giving unsolicited poor advice. and just every person just being like, yeah, that's right, don't ever listen to him.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that surprises me is how serious some of the questions are, especially
Yeah.
what
He gets
going
deep
through now with how do I handle my self-esteem and how to, and he does give solid advice. There's jokes in there, but he also says some good advice that
there's some good nuggets of wisdom in there sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the uncle that cares.
yes.
That weird uncle that cares.
I still to this day, the first time he did this on the show, I'm like, my uncle did the same exact thing. Like he just, it's
just an
weird.
uncle gesture. What can they say? I feel like
the Band-Aid thing is still not a good idea.
Shayna's like,
not
please
be able
God,
to
no.
get that out of my head now.
Shayna does not approve of this message, Nolan.
I do have a very important question for my fellow Northeasterner here.
Oh, I know where it's going.
Deep dish or thin crust?
Thin crust.
Absolutely, yes.
Shayna?
Thin crust.
Yes, I'm on the thin crust couch too.
Yes.
I like
as
thin
soon
crust
as he
pizza.
answered
I
that,
don't
I'm like,
deep dish.
yeah, Nolan, that's right.
I mean, I appreciate a deep dish pizza.
Yes.
I've been to Chicago. I've been to, the Midwest and have that. But I mean, I know what I like.
I've never been to Chicago, and I don't think I've ever had a proper deep dish pizza other than like a frozen one that I would presume like my mom or my dad picked up from.
Then you haven't lived.
Yeah, I presume. Also, I think I was in New York several times, and I don't think I've ever gotten pizza.
Never had pizza?
I don't think so.
No. Because when you're in New York, you get a slice.
Right,
this
but
is where
I've never had a
East Coast
slice
is
of
going to
pizza
come
in
out.
New York.
You go up, you go quick, you'd be like, all right, I'll get a slice. And if you're the person who's going like, I don't know what I want, every single person behind you is just like, just go.
Just cheese. Honestly, just cheese. Ham and pineapple
give me
or
2
cheese.
slices and Coke and I'm out of here. And then you throw the money at them and you leave because everyone in New York is in a hurry.
That's funny that you mentioned that because there was a Italian pizzeria place in the city where I grew up in upstate New York. And there was like, it was that kind of like you walk up and order your slice. And if you stood there for a second, they started yelling at you like, "What's up? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Come on, man, let's go." And it was
come on, I ain't got time.
I don't know what I want. And they're just like, "Let's
go."
You
want a slice or you want a pie?
And I'm like, "There's nobody else in line. Why are you yelling at me?"
Pagan, did you ever like get confused if someone said when they talk to people about pizza, like they want a pie?
No, I think I've seen enough.
You knew?
Yeah,
right.
see, I grew up on Friends and Cheers.
Oh, okay.
Like for every morning before school, like Cheers was on first, and then Friends, and I
in the
would
morning?
like, sit in front. Yeah, in the morning before like
time zones, man.
So it was on like a rerun channel, and say we had to get to school for 9, and we'd be getting up at 7. So between 7 and 8, they would run like Friends or Cheers first, and then like the next one. And so I would watch that while I was getting ready and dressed and like, eating breakfast and stuff like that. Like I would sit there in my room and like occasionally like try and do a task while watching the TV. So that's kind of like how I grew up. So I feel like Cheers is based in Chicago, right?
Boston.
Yeah. Boston.
Oh, was it in Boston?
Yes.
So I mean,
I know because I've been to the bar.
Oh,
I have
that's
too.
cool. I don't know why I thought they were in Chicago. But yeah, I mean, I've seen enough TV to know what they were talking about when they referred to it as a pie. Because I don't think we really had a lot of pies here.
I just feel like if I ordered a pie with Pagan, it's like we had half cheese, half pumpkin.
Also, we don't have pumpkin pie here, so that was fucking weird. I went to America in 2016. I went to America to visit my friend in oh my God, Georgia.
You've told stories about this visit before.
Yeah, and we went to, it's because it was Thanksgiving. I had enough money to go out, and she was like, hey, come over for Thanksgiving. And I was like, I've never had Thanksgiving. So I went over, and pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie and pecan pie and lemon meringue pie and other fucking pies were there. And I was like, one of everything, obviously. So I ate one of everything. And I was like, why are there so many pies here? Also, I really enjoy pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin
I think
pie
it's
is
really
awesome.
nice.
I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah, it's really nice. I would like to make it here, though. So I'll see if they have you guys have, if you're making pumpkin pie, sorry, maybe Shana knows. If you're making pumpkin pie over in America,
You're assuming I don't know how to make a pie?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about you. Who are you again? Do you guys buy a filling? Do you buy a pre-bought thing or do you just make it from scratch?
You can get filling, yeah.
The way my grandmother made it, it came in a can.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to find out if we have that here because I would like to make that.
And then also they're pre-made.
Oh yeah. Any grocery store here will have pre-made pumpkin pies for in
the plastic
dirt cheap, and you can just pick one up for $5 to $10 depending on the quality. They're usually pretty good.
A
little bit of whipped
pumpkin cheesecake.
It depends on where you get it.
Yeah, it all depends.
I like cheesecake.
Man, I can't remember the last time we went on a food tangent like this.
I know.
Pumpkin pie ice cream is going to be coming out in the grocery stores since it's fall.
I actually just bought pumpkin
pie ice cream.
I just got pumpkin pie cookies that had cream cheese bits in them.
That sounds amazing.
They were pretty good.
Fuck.
And I got a pumpkin pie.
I'm getting really hungry.
You guys have I used to love going to the grocery store.
You guys are making me hungry again. It's close to my dinner time.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously,
well,
me too.
News,
my kid's looking at me like, "Come on, Dad."
You'll get it. You'll get
all this
dinner,
talk about pumpkins.
Starving, thank God. We're just getting you ready.
If we want to segue, we can say, speaking of food.
Speaking
I don't know if you're
food,
ready to segue yet.
No, that's fine. Listen, there was some gold in Uncle Noli as advice, but we can all just go watch it again. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of food, ragu's a spaghetti sauce.
It is.
Mentioned in this week's Retro Replay, Nolan reacts to YouTube comments, and there's a comment.
Very well done. I was trying to follow that thread, and you succeeded.
You're a spaghetti sauce, so
that's what I was.
Fuck yourself, and I was like, that is fantastic.
Do that.
Yeah. So this week we got something different. We obviously didn't have any playthroughs. They'd finished the Uncharted 3 playthroughs and speedruns, so we got Nolan reacting to YouTube comments. What did you guys think, Shana? What did you think of this week's kind of out of the box reacting to comments?
At first, I thought some of the comments were mean, really mean.
They are.
But then I went back and I watched it, and I love that they
unsubscribe.
Some of it was really mean, but I love the way he handled it. He let his feelings be known of what he thought, but he also made a joke about it at the same time. So he knew how to buffer it. I think my favorite one is him reading. I never thought hearing Nolan say "choke me" would mean so much or something, and he's like, "Call me."
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorites.
I loved
Shana.
What was cool is that he's also just genuinely chatting with Drew.
I love that.
About that. This was the most real, you get to see the quote unquote real Nolan with all this. I mean, he's real regardless, but this was just first of all, I love those chairs. They look really comfy.
Looks like a great change to the set. Yeah.
Shout out to the chairs.
Yeah.
I think PJ said in the live chat once that they grabbed them off the side of the street or something. I was like, shout out to street chairs.
Shout out to street chairs.
That's how you gotta do it when you're on a budget and crunching on time.
Well, if Richard McGonigal gave you those chairs, they're pretty sus. I probably would. I'm sure they're well cleaned.
They smell like bleach, so.
Yeah, they smell like bleach. This should be fine.
I gotta clean them to make sure there's no bodies being found anymore.
So yeah, there were some good ones in there. Michael, did you have a favorite one or anything in there?
Honestly, it was just any moment that he was talking, he would cut to Drew and talk to have that conversation. I just was like, oh, this is cool. It's just him chilling out in, I love anytime. That's how I just love his chilled out attitude.
Yeah.
And the few times that I've been able to be in the same building as him. It's just everybody's had that same, notion that just people in that industry are so human and so interactive, and they love to hear from you. And like Shana was saying, a good sense of humor just really pulls everything together.
I think something like this is very Nolan. It's very up Nolan's street. Like this and Uncle Noli, because Uncle Noli is him like being able to improv and riff off of a question and trying to give helpful advice. And this version is just Nolan being Nolan, riffing off of comments that are given to him, like complimentary or not.
Right.
He's just brilliant. And honestly, anytime Drew would crack up, I would crack up.
Yeah.
This is probably the most fun I've had watching an episode in a while. Not to say the other episodes weren't fun. I just think there was something special about this one that just made me cry laughing. Like I just thought it was the funniest fucking thing, especially when Drew would also crack up. Because I would just like, I'm cracking and then I can hear him laughing and that makes me crackle more. Anybody else get that? Like if you're in conversation with somebody and then somebody else laughs. Like,
for me was when he said, "Oh, I don't break anything when I'm mad," and I'm like, "What about the TV?" And then that's when Drew mentioned about the TV, and he lost it, and then I lost it. I'm like, "Thank you, Drew. You read my mind."
Oh man,
I definitely
Drew's there representing everybody
out loud every time I heard Drew laughing.
Yeah.
Like the thing Nolan might have said, I'd be like, and then I hear Drew laugh, and I'm like, ha, 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 of course.
Drew is like that third party outside, voice of the audience in a way.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's definitely like, I feel like sometimes when Drew comments on something, especially like when they were playing or when they used to do like the text pop up and stuff like that, I always felt like Drew, that's exactly what one of us would say, like as a replayer. You know what I mean? I was like, he's representing crew here.
And
that's just basically everybody in the chat section just shouting out like, you got to jump here. Just use a shotgun for God's sakes.
Yeah. Or like when they went on a tangent or whatever and like Drew would pop up a text being like
hey.
I gave them so much to work with. Like, you know what I mean? Like I thought we would have a good show. Like, pretty great. Again, do you have any? Oh, sorry, Shana, go ahead.
I think that's part of the reason why he doesn't want to be seen, because he wants to be us. He wants to be our voice for the show. I
mean, that's pretty
Drew
intellectual.
Is all of us.
I don't know if Drew. I don't know if Drew's on that level. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that probably would make sense. It's nice though. It's nice to have a voice off camera as well. And I like that, like you said, he often refers to Drew off camera. That's nice. I like that because they could have easily put Drew in the second. Yeah, they could have easily put Drew in the second chair, but they didn't, and I kind of like it. Dan, what did you think?
I was actually gonna. Well, I already started to mention about the Drew laughing was definitely a highlight for me. It was probably at least mostly my favorite thing throughout the entire thing. The only thing that like really sticks out to me, and Pagan, it's funny enough that you actually happen to comment and quote that, the part when he was talking about the glow in the dark condoms. And
I put that in the notes.
And I'm like, he is totally making a dick lightsaber joke right now. 100%.
And then Drew cracks up and I'm cracking up laughing. And what got me was like when Drew starts cracking up is the same time I was cracking up when he was like, I don't do the glow in the dark pants. Like I don't, that way my wife can see me and I prefer the stealth. That is so, like I started cracking and then he started making like the glow in the dark condoms lightsaber quip and I thought, oh Jesus, here we go. I'm loving it. I think it's so funny.
Here we go.
It's probably one of my highlights from the thing. And like, I think originally they did get like, I helped pull some of the comments from that show.
Right.
For that show. So I'd gone through a lot of the original episodes as well. And they were just like, some of them were just mean. Like some of them are just like, oh great, two old guys sitting on a couch, which is one of the things they used. And I was like, oh, people are so fucking mean, but it's good content for Nolan to play.
Is that kid like 12?
They
don't look old.
I was going to mention that too.
I hope I look like that when I'm their age.
I was going to comment on Shauna's statement about how some of the comments seem mean, and I was like, actually, my favorite thing about that was how Nolan, without missing a beat, always had an answer to that, and it was always just kind of like a "fuck you" or something. Like, I like that he's not afraid to just be like, you know what? Well, if you don't like it, then fuck off. I don't care. You know?
Where it's
I
like, I have to
That's what I
unsubscribe. And he's
mean,
like, you
is
had
that
to comment and tell
he
everybody?
let
Like-
his
Okay.
feelings
anyone
be known.
notice?
That ticked him off, but then he did a soft buffer to bring it back to fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's very, very professional. That was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool. I thought it was a really good idea. And like, you know, shout out to Margot and Cass, who have both been on the show before and had their comments read out.
He
which
totally
was
called
Yeah, I
out
so
Cass
cool.
smiled big
too
when
when
I
she
saw
said
that.
unsubscribe. Then he's like,
Yeah.
"You're a member. You're not unsubscribed."
You're a loyal member. You didn't unsubscribe. Don't lie. Like, I love that. I think it's so nice to see when he recognizes like names and stuff like that. Not that you wouldn't, obviously, but like when you're popping into chat and you see the same people over and over again, and you're interacting with the same people, I think it's really nice, and you do develop a connection with the crew and Nolan, and then you can get to see that on the comments, especially if you're
Oh,
leaving one.
It's such a genuine team, like the entire team. I got a video back as part of the perks for the membership,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to, but he pulled the request of doing like a little shout out type of promo thing for my comedy group, and he did 2 takes. Like he gave me 2 options. I'm like, fucking pro, man.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, he's dope. What can you say? It's fucking North.
I've actually gotten, and Michael reminded me, someone sent me a cameo from Nolan.
Oh,
One of the retro replayers sent me a cameo from him, and she surprised me with it, but she did ask me questions of what would you like him to encourage you with or to say, and I said it was about my writing, and the first thing I noticed is he said my name right. And then he said, I just want to encourage you with it. And I also said that I haven't met him in person. And he actually felt bad about that. He was like, oh, I haven't met you yet. Gosh, when this COVID thing's over, I hope we do get to meet each other. And I just sat there and bawled for like 15, 20 minutes because it was so personal and so genuine, and you can see his heart that he cares about all of us, whether he knows your name or not. He does care about the people that watch the show.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think like you can definitely see that in like messages as well. Yes, Michael.
I just wanted to make sure I said this after Shana made that wonderful comment, but I'm running close on time of getting to daddy time.
We're gonna go now. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I am. No, you're good.
Cut
You're
this
good.
part.
I'm gonna wrap it. No, it's all good. All good.
No worries.
We're running a little long, so don't worry. Yeah, overall great to see them come up with new content, and I'm like really excited for more. I would like to see them do some more of this commenting on comment sections.
I certainly would.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have plenty to work with.
They sure do. Some videos have like 2,000 comments. I was like, well, I'm gonna be here a while. But it's great.
Good luck.
It really is great. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Anything I can do to help the team is awesome. All right, with that, we're going to close out the show. I just wanted to say regarding a retro replay segment, we are still going to be sending off questions to the crew. So if anybody has questions for retro replay, cast your crew,
Yes,
please send them over to the thereplayerpodcast@gmail.com or DM myself or Dan on Twitter. If anybody is looking to follow you guys on socials, this is your time to promote it. Michael, I'll start with you. Would you like to promote today?
Yes. If you would like to follow me on anything social media, it's all the same thing. It's MSGVOA, which is also the / for my Twitch channel, which I do on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just an hour, just some chat, just some gaming. Right now it's Knights of the Old Republic Tuesdays, World of Warcraft Wednesdays, and then a Throwback Friday where I'm going to play some old school games.
Nice.
So come and join and have some laughs.
What time did you say it was?
It's called Voices in Games because I do both.
What time did you say that was?
5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check your local listings.
Check your local listings. Yeah.
TV guides.
That is 10:30 p.m. Irish time or 4:30 p.m. CST.
And it's only 1 hour. I keep it very simple.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Shana, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter at Twitter Knitter on Twitter. And then on Facebook, just type in Shana Martin and you'll find me.
Perfect. And I also do want to shout out some of your projects as well, Shana. You have An Adventurous Spirit, which is a poet's journey. It's a publishable book that you can order from blurb.com. And so feel free to go and check that out. That is poetry written by Shana. Also, you can find Shana's work on the scarletfortuna.org. And there was something else that you sent me? Oh, that was your Facebook page, right?
Yeah, that's the knitting page, but
the Sea Pearl, right? The Sea Pearl Facebook page as well, which is where you guys do your arts and crafts.
I am a big fan of Shana's poetry. I was so proud when I heard you told me, you messaged me personally and said, "Oh my God, I got my stuff published," and I was like, "Yeah, Shana."
Oh,
yeah,
that was for
big fan.
COVID. Someone was putting together a poetry collection for COVID to help people dealing with COVID. And that happened this year. So
you are very, very talented writer.
That's fucking awesome, Shana. Yeah, congratulations.
Everybody
honestly.
should check it out.
Everybody should check it out. And if you want like a dedicated book by Shana Martin, it is An Adventurous Spirit, A Poet's Journey on blurb.com. We'll put the link in the show notes below. Thank you, guys. Dan, do you want to shout out your socials?
Of course, you can always find me at Stark Evil Vash on any platform, be it Xbox, PlayStation, and Twitter. No, Twitter. That's why I always get mixed up. Twitch and Twitter.
Yeah, it's Twitch. Twitch is Stark Evil Vash.
Twitch is Stark Evil Vash.
Twitcher is what happens after you've been playing games too much. You're just like,
too much Twitch.
No more.
Which you can find me streaming on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But you can also find me on Twitter at Stark Evash. STARKY.
Excellent.
VASH. Wow, me and Pagan are just in stereo right now.
Yeah, sorry.
The E stands for...
It's in canon. We're going to start row your boat anytime soon. Thank you so much, Dan. You can find me, as usual, at Pagan Plays on Twitter and at Pagan_Plays on Instagram and Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I haven't started doing it yet, but I mean, I have Shana here. You can find us on Facebook at Deadpan Gaming now.
Yes.
And Shana is my mod on Deadpan Gaming.
Nice. Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Michael, Shana, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Just want to throw out a thank you.
Thank you.
Just a thank you. I was going to be like, thank you, Shana. Yeah, shake it, shake. Shit, that's from my prison meeting. I'm sorry.
Prison Zoom previous?
Yeah, that was for my prison Zoom. My bad. Listen.
Those are dark days, Pagan. Dark days.
My parole officer going to kill me.
Discuss it now. It's okay.
We'll shout out a big thank you to the Retro Replay cast and crew for everything that you do, because without you guys, the Replayer Podcast would not exist. Thank you all for coming and joining us. Amen, sister. That's game over, folks. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.